All right, so happy Wednesday. I am inside using the new Nifty 50 and it is completely dark out. So this will be a really good test to see how well it's performing indoors. Without any lights, the ISO was like 3,200, and with this backlight right here, and then there's one on the camera, and then there's actually one right behind me highlighting a little bit of my hair. It took us down to about 800, so that's good. Today we are talking about the magic formula to escape scope creep and exceed it by quarterly releases, how to get one up and how to keep on moving things forward at your company today. All you need is a to-do list, whether you're using Asana, Trello, Basecamp, pen and paper, basic list. You don't really need anything else but, your to-do list. And I'll show you how to take like the endless to-dos that come up in your regular day-to-day job, how to divide those out into actionable releases. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this computer. All right, we are in. Just pretty much starting at Google. So I'm going to use Asana as my task manager today, but just know that any task list or any system that has like a board system will work, and I'll also show you like an alternative to use it as like a basic list too. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to asana.com. If you don't have an account already, go ahead and just sign up. Pretty much I'm gonna go ahead and just create a to-do list. This will be the collection of to-dos that your boss has given you over probably the past few months, and it's like a never-ending list. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some here, and I'll get back to you in just a second. This is traditionally how most people just add their list. They keep on adding, and then they'll check off what they can, and the list just never ends. So it feels like you're not really getting anything done. And like the boss will ask, hey, did we get this in? Or what have you finished over the past couple weeks? What's important? What do we need next? Or can I have you do these 20 more things and I need them ASAP? And with this list right here, it's really hard to explain to your boss what you can do, what leeway you have, what can't be done, and why. So I'm going to show you something I've built over the past 10 years of being in the design and creative field that has helped me and helped my bosses really work together to build on what's important to the company and continue to make releases for the customer, for the team, for sales, for production on a regular schedule that all line up with holiday events, or most of them. So over here we have projects. This could be the same thing as like a new list for, let's see, I'm just going to click add project in Asana, and we're going to call this roadmap. You can also call it like roadmap 2018 or whatever it is if you'd like. And this is going to just be a traditional list. We're not going to create a board out of this. So I'm showing pretty much all items. What I'm going to do, and you can do this in just going to select all, and I'm going to add them to the roadmap. So now we have one list, but we really actually need two lists. So the roadmap is like your catch-all. It's like your 3,000-foot view of everything that you're doing. We're going to create another list that's going to be our release that's going to be over the next 6 weeks. So let's go ahead and do that now. And usually, so if this is like your first release, just call it like release 1. These align with the by quarters of the year. So the next release would be April 1, and I'll kind of get a little bit more into that in a minute. Let's not just know that each release is 6 weeks, and for every release we'll have a new project. All right, so let's call this release 1, and I like to put when it runs, not when it's due by. So runs April 1 to May 15th. Wow, Will, how'd you know that? Well, it's 6 weeks. And usually I'll actually put it like one day before, because the 15th will kind of start the next release. So the next release after this, or the next bi-quarterly release, would be May 15th to June 30th. Alright, so that one actually is going to be a board. If you don't have a board system, you can also choose list, and I'll show you how to divide that up as well. Create project. We are going to go back over to our roadmap. So typically when you're at work, there are specific tasks that are always pressing, and you kind of know what those are. So maybe it's I'm just going to put, so we can divide this out. This doesn't really matter that much, but I'm using this as an example to show you what we're going to kind of focus on. I usually pick about 4 major tasks, and then I'll throw in some little small tasks into our release, and then I'll divide it up through there. So let's just go with what we got on our list. Let's assume that, you know, we're working for the brain, and we're Pinky, and Save the World is pretty important on the list. Really take over the world. You gotta change that. You gotta take over the world. Alright, so that's a pretty big deal. So it's gonna be more than one task. And a lot of times you'll have small little tasks, but you'll also have big projects, but they're all jumbled into one, so it's hard to kind of keep track of it all. We need to design a logo for Easy Bake. So let's go ahead and put that up here. That's pretty important, but that's not too heavy. The boss wants to get ready for the trade show. And this is where you're sitting down with whoever your stakeholder is, and like kind of really just understanding what's really important to them, because obviously you can't do all the tasks all at once, but this is a good way to kind of help them prioritize and also not overwhelm yourself. We also need to kind of create that flyer. Invent a time machine. Alright, so those are pretty heavy for this release. So we got take over the world, invent a time machine, and then we're going to design a logo, do this trade show, and there's a couple more things we can add in here that aren't too big. We'll set up PayPal too. So that's it. Anything else that comes into this, any other task that you get from the stakeholder or from your boss that's not like ASAP now, will go back to your roadmap. It doesn't touch your release at all. That's your way of avoiding scope creep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add it to our release 1. Go over here, edit. If you're in Asana, it's really cool. You can kind of come over and edit the project and rewrite the name that already exists, and it will automatically take those out of that and put them in here, as you can see right here. Alright, cool. I'm just going to get rid of this because we don't really need that anymore. And all of these tasks will be for another release. We'll come back in another 6 weeks, revisit this, prioritize what's really important, and then move on. So let's jump into our 6-week release. So we're over here. Whenever, the very first thing I do with the release, other than give it a title and say exactly when it runs, you would have started release 1, like designing, building, whatever out. You would have started it February 15th. That's 6 weeks from April 1st, and so on. Hope that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. If it doesn't, just take the year and divide it into 6 weeks, and you'll get like an even amount of releases. So like January 1, February 15th, April 1, May 15th, July 1, August 15th, September 1, October 15th, and then the next one would be, of course, January 1 again. Alright, cool. So with these, you have columns. These columns are going to represent our weeks. I'm going to call them sprints, but sprints are just like what you're getting done for the week. So I'm just going to rename this column. We're going to call this S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6. And I'll also add a done column. And I also will add, like, if you're a developer or deal with like a lot of issues, I'll also put one for issues because those are usually ASAPs that need to be taken care of before anything else. I'm going to drag that over here. Alright, so we have issues. Sprint 1, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and our done column. Obviously, we'll pull the things to the done column when we're done with them. Whenever I get my master list of tasks, this will probably be like 20 tasks versus like 10 tasks that you'll have here, but I'll look for the key ones, the big projects that I have. So invent a time machine, take over the world are both pretty big, and then probably get ready for the trade show is another big one. So let's focus a week for each of these, right? So for the time machine, we'll just put time machine over here, put take over world. Yeah, we're definitely going to need the time machine to be able to take over the world. So, and then get ready for trade show. I always leave one extra week blank, like sprint 1, week 6, because that's like your contingency. You're always going to get tasks that are thrown at you that are going to be quote unquote ASAP, and it's always good to have a buffer to be able to, like, oh, I'm not so jam-packed, I have enough time to do that. So sprint 6 is going to be left blank. Sprint 4, let's see, what else do we have? So take over the world needs to come over here, trade show over here. So it looks like the setup PayPal is kind of web-based, and then we have flyer and design logo. Those are both kind of like design-based. So I'm gonna put over here, let's say design assets. And then this is going to be maybe something like update website. So now, as you can see, so PayPal, flyer, alright, our logo over here, and of course we have that blank one. This is rename column as getting ready for launch promotion. So say your boss came over to you right now, or your stakeholder, you clearly have a six-week plan as to what you're going to accomplish, what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be focusing on each week. And you also have enough space for anything that they throw at you, because they will throw something at you. And it's up to you to decide whether this is an ASAP or if it needs to just be put back on the roadmap to be kind of looked at in another 6 weeks. So what I'll do from here, after I've kind of broken up the big task, is I'll take like time machine. Obviously I can't get that done in one task, so I need to get materials. I need to research how to build time machine. I need to watch like 10 movies on time travel, see how they did it. Need to blow up basement a couple times. Need to have near death experience. And then that will be when I invent the time machine. So all those things are going to happen in this week. Take over the world. Let's see. need to recruit team, need to find out, need to get rid of the mole, let's see, find good place for secret hideout, get costumes, kick some bad guy butt. And then I'll be like taking over the world, so it's pretty busy. Get ready for trade show. Maybe this one's more realistic, but what assets do we need? Price setups, reserve space, etc., etc. You get the point. And then over here we do the same thing with design assets. Say the boss comes in, they're like, oh man, we need the contact form isn't working, and we did actually have that on the roadmap. We could have just pulled that over, or if it's something different like the website isn't working, the website is down, that's a pretty big deal. It's an issue, it needs to be worked on right now, but you have a spot for it. All this stops, you work on that. Once it's done, you check it off. I fixed it. You come over here, pull it over, and done. As you continue to work forward, get materials, pull it on over to the done, and there you have it. Every single week, if there's another task that comes up, that's like, we need a poster for whatever. Well, where would that fit good for? I think that would fit best with design assets. So definitely a really great way to improve how you handle tasks, handle scope creep, keep track of everything that you do without it getting so overwhelming like this list is. To finish up here, let's say that you're not able to build the time machine in 1 week. I mean, come on. Say you have to move over some things. Well, what happens is you just move everything over to week 2. Move it on over. We'll end up deleting this column. And then now we have a really long week, so we probably want to spread this out a little bit more. We want to kind of get rid of the mole. Maybe we can get the costume when we're doing the design assets. We'll kick some bad guy butt over here, take over the world. We're going to push that up just a little bit, up to here. Find out the hideout. Recruit. Maybe we don't need to blow up the basement a couple times. We can do that later. And, you know, find a good secret hiding place over here. And we can continue to move things on as we continue to get closer and handle our scope creep very well. The last thing that I'll add is release newsletter. In the last week, I always just try to gather everything that's been done into that newsletter. So, hey guys, we took over the world. We created a time machine. We created all these flyers. We updated the website. All of that's done. Great. Now we can move on. You archive that project, put it away, and come back over to your roadmap and do it all over again. And if your stakeholder says like, hey, what did we do? You know, what have we done in the past few weeks? What have we done in the past couple months? Well, you can go right back, and it specifically tell them, you know, broken up by week. So definitely use this to your advantage to make your life easier at work. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to show you that list alternative. Hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your day, enjoy your morning, whatever it is. And I will catch you tomorrow. Alright, peace!